Athletics Federation of Nigeria is happy with the performance of Nigerian athletes at the Mount Sac Relay in California, as the 4x400 meters women have been rated third best in IAAF top 10 in the world. Also on the program, there is absolute no need to worry about security in Brazil, despite the recent eruption of violence in the country. Jerome Varkey, FIFA Secretary, is very sure about this. Also on the show, we'll be talking the NBA, the playoffs, of course. The Portland Trail Blazers are blazing the rockets in the playoffs. They lead this series, the best of 7 series, by 2 games. You're watching Sport this morning on Channels Television. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Austin Okon Akma will be joining me after this highlight, where Benfica maintained their 12-game unbeaten run at home in Europe. Well, definitely that's for Sevilla, and of course they are on course for that. Well, for the other game that I actually talked about earlier between Benfica and Juve, where Carlos Tevez was able to score his first goal in so many years in Europe. Let's just enjoy the highlights. But one thing about this Italian team, you just have one left, that's talking about Juventus. Should they fail to make it to the finals or even win the title, I think it will be difficult for the Italian Serie A, situation whereby you don't have most of the top clubs in the Italian Serie A not even getting the top spots needed in Europe. Well, their spots might be given to Portugal, maybe having 3 representatives, and of course, for Italian Serie A, maybe just 2. Who knows what UEFA might do? Well, I think UEFA actually come up to say some time ago, just yesterday, UEFA president saying that, well, clubs that are not, acting according to the FIFA fair play might not be sanctioned in Europe anyway. But let's just enjoy the highlights between Benfica and Juventus. Benfica, of course, they've already won their league title, and they are really looking good to win another title again. Remember what happened to them the last time? They just couldn't win it. Something happened and they couldn't win the Europa League. This season, of course, they are really very, very on course to win it. While we're still waiting for the clip, we'll just go ahead with the program, of course, talking about some of the things we listed at the beginning of the show, starting with athletics. Of course, we know that in Bahamas, of course, next month, our Nigerian athletes will be competing against the very best in the world, the US, the Jamaicans, and of course, with a performance in California, AFM President Solomon Ogba is assuring Nigerians that the athletes will perform better, and that word release is definitely what will actually make him want to pick the best of the athletes that will be representing Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games. It's really optimism for him, because when you have the best of athletes, especially with Nigerian 4x400 meters women winning that particular event, ahead of other big top shot countries, simply means the girls are doing very well. For the men, they finished 3rd in California. But with that, I think that is really a good result. But the problem they are actually having is the 4x100 meters women relay. They finished 5th. You will say that is really a poor result. But Solomon Ogba is optimistic that they can really build on that and see how they can continue with the preparations for the Commonwealth Games. Well, for Nigerian athletes, all of them are in the U.S., while the ones that are not there are actually in camp in Abuja. The preparations is ongoing. This particular weekend in Ilorin, they will be having the Golden League continues. And with that Golden League continuing, it means some of the athletes that might just make it out and, of course, get to win top spot there will just get a shot or a chance at the Commonwealth Games. Imagine you've never traveled out of the country and you're having that opportunity to actually compete among the very best. That alone will give them that all the encouragement and, of course, all the things needed, for them to actually make it out when they go to the Commonwealth Games. Let's just enjoy the highlights between Benfica and Juventus. When we come back, Austin Okonakman will join me for the rest of the program.
Cardozo, a major aerial threat in the middle. He's being tracked by Paul Pogba. In from Suleimani. Very good corner as well, and Buffon can't keep it out. Opening goal. Benfica have scored inside 2 minutes. Gigi Buffon got a hand on it, but Juventus switch off from the set piece. It was a brilliant delivery in from Suleimani. Wild celebrations in Lisbon. An absolute delight for Ezekiel Garay, the central defender. Suleimani's delivery, absolutely perfect, and he gets away from Panucci. It's a smart little nudge from Garay just to move away from him. And he directs it right towards the bottom corner. Marquisio, fine ball to Asamoah. He's cut it back for Tevez, drop of the shoulder, still Tevez, it's in! Carlos Tevez has his first European goal in more than 5 years, and Juve have got that vital away goal too here in Lisbon. Brilliant, incisive play from the Italian champions in and around the penalty area. And Carlos Tevez finally gets that goal on the continent he's been looking for. It's a wonderful pass into Asamoah, and the cutback sharp as well, but it's all about the drop of the shoulder from Tevez. Oh, that's really good football. Oh, what a goal! What a stunning goal from out of nothing, and Benfica lead the game. And Lima celebrates. What an outstanding strike. And Juve caught out with 7 minutes to go. What an impact from the substitute. Well, he's barely touched the ball since coming on. And the man who secured the title at the weekend might have got Benfica the win on the night here. They're back in front. Standing strike, it was just left by Cavaliero. Oh my word, he hits that with such power. Buffon can't get near it. And Lima, with even just a glimpse of goal, makes Juve pay. Great dummy into Lima's path. And the man who seems very settled at Benfica these days.
Well, a fantastic one for Benfica. Definitely going for the double this season. Austin Okonakman is here.
It's good to be here with you on the program. And just to mention that Benfica, already champions in Portugal. Yes. What a stunning strike by Lima. Stupendous, I must say. But that second leg will be a cracker because remember Definitely. The final will be in Turin. And Juventus will want to be there. They got the away goal through Carlos Tevez. Good one for them. So the second leg is everything to play for Juve. Everything
to play for them. Of course, they will really want to win it because it won't be good for Italian football. They are not Europe, the elite one. Talking about the Champions League, of course, being in Europe, maybe that's another one. They just want to get that and see how they can. And right now, we're for saying that champions of Europe might, get to, play in the Champions League. But Juve will need that because definitely they are winning their league anyway.
They're winning their league, but remember they will lift the trophy. They will lift the trophy also, and for Conte, it's all about winning. Yeah. And Juve, just to, say to their fans, we're not happy we're playing in the Europa League.
So let's just bring the trophy.
And we're winning it. So it's a win-win for them.
A win-win for them, of course. Before you came on the show, I talked about, Nigerian athletes. Right now they're preparing for Bahamas. They are already in Pennsylvania. Yeah. That's where they're having the second release. Of course, that's more like a dress rehearsal for the World Championships in Bahamas. And that's where Solomon Ogba is saying that he's going to pick his very best athletes for the relay team for the Commonwealth Games.
That's the ultimate, and I'm glad the AFN, they have their eyes fixed on the prize, which is the Commonwealth Games. But then I'm a bit worried, and I'm asking questions. Is it only the relays that we should be talking about now?
Definitely, because that's the championships that are ongoing right now. When the others start, they will be there.
Okay, fine. We're trying to get our new team coordinator busy, which is Maurice Green. Good one at the Mount San Antonio College relays. Going to the Bahamas relays will also be a good one for them. But Cecilia, I'm a bit worried that the male athletes are not doing well, and then this is the time for us to start ensuring that...
the 4x400 meters, they came third.
They came third, no doubt. And
that's a plus.
When you speak to them, they will say, don't judge them with that kind of competition. But what I'm saying is the AFN, they're paying attention to the release. They should also pay attention to all-round development of our male athletes and the female athletes, so that at the Commonwealth Games will actually prove to be a formidable force.
Yeah, maybe the Golden League is still another way for them to actually bring up some of these athletes. Moving on now, talking about development on the 17 Team B, the Waffle B, and this is for the under 17 competition. They are in Togo, of course. Today they will be playing Benin Republic in the semi-finals. Remember the 2 legs against Mali? They won both. It could have been a big one it could have been a very, very fantastic one for them. Niger Republic pulled out in their own group, so they had to play Mali twice back to back. So they will be facing Benin Republic, and of course Togo will take on Mali. Anyone who gets a spot for the semi-finals will definitely go into the finals. And Nigeria, well, they said they are well motivated to bring the Waffle B under 17 tournament back to Nigeria, and then from that they can take it from there, following in the footstep of their own predecessor. That's the ones who actually go to Qatar and conquer everyone.
Until we won the United Arab Emirates under 17 FIFA World Cup, a lot of people weren't paying so much attention to this level of football. Well, we have been winning the under 17 championship, but of course, it has been marred by age cheats and the overage players. But we were a bit interested in that last team because we thought they were relatively young.
Yes.
So for me, and what Coach Emmanuel Amunike is doing with this team, is all about development. We saw them play Pepsi team and they crushed. I mean, they played good football. They defeated Mali, and now they will play Benin. I'm actually excited they are getting busy.
Yes.
It's not until when the tournament comes we'll just find out that they are going. We can see them play now. We're monitoring them. We can work with their progress. And who knows, they can actually go and do the same thing that Coach Manu Garba and his boys did in Dubai.
Yeah, that's the target. Of course, they on this 15 also, they're in camp. They opened camp on Monday, and just yesterday they played against the Super Falcons, beating them by a lone goal. But for them, they're also preparing for another championship. It's the first African Youth Games taking place in Botswana next month. Of course, with their preparations so far, where the coaches are saying that the boys will have a very, very good performance at the Youth Games later. That's next month in Botswana. 33 we actually called to camp. About 8 have been pulled out, and they expect to actually take about 18 of them to that tournament and see how they can also progress from there. So beating the Super Falcons shows, of course, were the boys. They're pretty good. Okay, Austin, please don't react. Okay, moving on now. We'll talk about what is happening in Brazil, of course. Nigeria World Cup squad still hanging. Keshi said it's next week, and of course, NFF actually agreed with him on that. But what is happening in Brazil presently, the recent violence, the riot and all that. But FIFA, our General Secretary, talking about Jerome Valkyrie, it's saying that we shouldn't worry, that the sport is really not at risk in Brazil. They'll do everything possible to ensure that everyone is safe. So the violence will definitely not affect anything. Let's just listen to him. When we come back, we'll talk about the papers, of course. There's so much to still talk about on the program. NBA is also there.
It's sad that